All systems nominal.
それでは早速全速前進
You wanna know what the weak point of a mech is? The fucking pilot.
Get away from her, you bitch!
His papers say he was a raven.
Protocol 3.
A pattern blue!
Welcome to On the Shoulders of Giants, a giant robot power hour discussing mechs across media, their stories, and why we love them. I'm Alice, and I'm joined by Brian.
I'm Brian. I didn't think of something funny to say because I have no thoughts about this game.
And Nico.
For our mech ranking portion, I, a person who knows jack shit about anything, will have the 5 best girls in this game and 3 dishonorable mentions. So be ready for that.
Wait, I do have one-liner.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, dive headfirst into the fracas, okay?
This time around, we're discussing the exciting and much anticipated sequel to the hit hero shooter Overwatch, Gundam Evolution. Let's launch into it.
Oh no.
Will it or will it not get PvE first? It's shutting down, but will it get...
So today we're talking about Gundam Evolution, and this is more of a funeral than it is a celebration. That's because Gundam Evolution will be shutting down service at the end of November. How sad, guys. Are you gonna miss it?
Well, I never managed to get online, but I did like looking at the robots and the animations that you could buy for them.
I'm gonna miss the possibility space. I'm gonna miss what could have been with this damn video game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of what could have been with Gundam Evolution.
Yeah.
So Gundam Evolution was produced and released in September of 22 by Bandai Namco,
That is-
creator of many great video games.
That is last September.
She barely made it a year. Yeah, she barely made it a year.
She made it a year and 1 month. So this is no single player, no PvE. This is only a team-based, hero-based shooter. That's it. It's just multiplayer. That's the whole thing. This is part of the Gundam franchise, but does not fall within the Gundam franchise because it has Gundams from many, many different series. It has no story, no characters talk. There is a brief intro section where you're just a pilot running through some drills. It's not really canon to the franchise at all. And so, guys, what did you know about Gundam Evolution before we got into it?
I didn't know anything, and that makes me a little bit sad because this is kind of like the kind of game I would inexplicably latch onto and play a lot despite not being very good. But
Yeah. What about you, Nico?
I only heard of this game when I found out it was dying. And I don't remember if it was me or Brian who went in the podcast chat and was like, hey, there's a mech Overwatch based on Gundam with licensed Gundam, like from Bandai, and it's dying. Like, do we want to prod the corpse?
We need to lay her to rest because
We do. We need to give her a fair goodwill into the night.
goodbye into the night.
Into the night.
As she buys the farm.
We need to be present when Bandai holds the pillow over her face.
Chokes her out to death.
They did that already. The pillow was called Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon.
Now, that wasn't Bandai. That's a murder.
So I'm gonna give you a summary of this. And
Okay, please. I did get lost in some of the lore details, so I know there were a lot of events.
I do have to say, since we have so many listeners and they'll email us angrily, that it was published by Bandai Namco, which is why I say that.
Armored Core 6 was published by Bandai Namco.
Yeah.
Not the studio that created it. This was created with an in-house. Gundam Evo was an in-house Bandai Namco
versus
production.
Obviously from that face that you just made.
That was a good face.
I was just thinking about companies that maybe shouldn't have an in-house game studio that they try to make a huge multiplayer project for.
I just think that the Gollum game was very good, and we all should remember that. Or even Redfall, another game that came out this year made by an in-house studio.
Oh my god.
Okay, here's the summary of Gundam Evolution. This is non-edited. I ripped this right from Wikipedia. This is the extensive Wikipedia summary.
This is the journalism that our listeners come to OSG for, so let's get into it.
I will say that the Wikipedia page for this did have the warning that it doesn't have enough content. I did not have to scroll the page. Summary. Gundam Evolution is a team-based shooter where 2 opposing squads with 6 players each enter combat as they seek to perform opposing objectives on the map. These objectives vary depending on the game mode and include Capture Point, where players must attempt to attack and capture points on the map from the defending team, Domination, which has both teams attempt to capture 3 points on the map, and Destruction, which has teams trying to activate or stop a weapon of mass destruction that the other team is trying to use against them. And that's the summary of Gundam Evolution.
I have to say one thing about that last mode.
Yep.
Yes.
They call it like an ultra bomb. It blows up a room.
Yeah.
There's no environmental destruction in this game. There's
Yeah.
I
nothing.
know.
We talked in
that is...
Armored Core 1 how it was just metal hallways with no sense of scale. This is that.
But at least in Armored Core 1, yeah, you could step on the cars and they would die.
They would die, the cars.
In this
The
one,
cars would bleed out.
and I made sure to show Brian this because we managed to play some online games together.
Alice
me and
I
Brian
managed to actually
I was so
interact
glad.
with the video game. Yeah.
We did. And in the spawn areas, there are little human-sized APCs and tanks, but they are not destructible or movable. They just are in a corner. That's it.
It's
they're
so much.
tripping hazards for your mechs.
That's the summary. But let's really dive into this after we get back from our break.
Hey, Nico here in the break. Just wanted to let you know that while this is a podcast, and we'll always do our best to describe visuals we're commenting on, we'll also include links to the mechs and images we discuss in the show notes, and post actual photos on our show website. Along with that, make sure to check the show notes for content warnings as appropriate to the episode. That's all for now. Back to the show.
I'm so glad that people who listen to our podcast and like wait for the breaks to go do stuff are gonna have started the podcast, gotten halfway through drinking a cup of coffee and gone, oh. You have not finished your own cup of coffee, Alice.
Still working on it. So I'm gonna kind of talk through some key points about this, and I kind of want your thoughts on this. But first off, to give some backstory on this, I got into this game when it first launched last year.
Okay, you were there, ground zero.
I bought the season pass.
Oh my god.
Day of. So this is a free-to-play game, which means you don't have to pay to play. However, there is a season pass that you can use to unlock cosmetics, things of that nature.
Oh, and there were plenty of those. Let me tell you, for a game that has been out for a year and is now failing, 136 buyable keychains for each mech, basically.
Yeah. And every time you unlock a new item in this game, it marks it as an unread item in your inventory. You have to click to find it to get that little dot, which I hate when video games don't let me just like
that is one of the
out.
worst things any video game ever does to me. I cannot leave the little new thing hanging in the air like that.
I hate when Discord does that shit when they have a Nitro sale. Like, I can't be doing that in a video game.
I am ready to take up beef with Discord, so we can fist fight Discord, mostly because they show up in VTuber chats sometimes, and I'm jealous that the VTubers will acknowledge Discord, but not me. Why not? There is no Gundam VTuber, I want to be clear. Continuing on. So this game...
That is such
Yet. Alice, this is your opportunity.
Oh my god, I'm going to get a DMCA because I have a themed VTuber outfit.
No. We'll do what I did with the camphor on our with the camphor on our cover art, which is draw something which is essentially that, but doesn't have all the markings. So we'll just make you a Gundam rig that just is off color.
It's actually, so I want it to be my VTuber rig, but it's just the wearing the cardboard Gundam box.
No, I love this because if you became a Gundam VTuber, you could do a VTuber thing and do a face reveal, which would just be revealing the face of your rig for your actual VTuber and not just the Gundam.
Okay, cut all of this because it's gold.
TM.
So I got into this game, Season 1, bought the Game Pass. I proceeded to buy no more of the Game Passes for this or the Season Passes for this because they were garbage.
That's huge for you.
Hot garbage.
Can we talk about the lore that the listener might need?
Yeah, let's talk about the lore. So the lore in this...
No, Alice, the lore about you.
Oh.
And game purchases.
The lore here is that Alice... Cut my last name. Bleep my last name. Hi, my name is Alice, and I have a problem with gacha games.
Hi, Alice.
I've wailed in many games with anime girls in them. And robots, and anime girl robots. And I'm a proud backer of Star Citizen. If you need that context to know how much I'm willing to throw at a bad product.
I love you so much. I'm not trying to shame you. I just wanted to level with the audience so that they would know the lore going forward. Alice is a person who wants to believe in the potential of your game. And she believes with her money. And the fact that this game so failed Alice.
And she loves Gundam.
She loves Gundam.
I bought like every Gundam game and I put... So there's... the one I want to put this up against is Mobile Suit Gundam Battle Operation 2, which is both a mobile game and was available on consoles. It is also a free-to-play game with cash mechanics. It has no season pass. It has... about quadruple the amount of mechs, and they actually feel like mechs, and it's actually a very good game.
Oh, shit.
And I've played it regularly. I still pick it up. It's still in service. It's been around for ages.
Wow.
So I thought this was going to be the updated version, because it was made in Unreal 4. It was going to be a beautiful thing. And it was like a $10 season pass. I'm like, yeah, I can throw $10 at a game every 60 days if it gives me something good.
It was made in UE4?
It was made in Unreal Engine 4.
You know what else is made in Unreal Engine 4?
What's that?
Gundam 0079, baby!
We had some late-breaking news in which we learned that they are remaking Gundam 0079, the original series, in Unreal 4, and nobody wants that. So let me kind of go over some stats. So we can't really talk about the lore of this game, right? There's no lore. There's no characters. You can, there's character art. So again, I'm going to compare this a lot to Gundam Battle Operation 2. In Gundam Battle Operation 2...
Amuro's picture is in the corner. Excuse you.
Right. In Gundam Battle Operation 2, you can choose your handler and the voice that talks to you. You can choose your pilot character art and everything like that. Do you know what you can't do in Gundam Evolution?
Any of that?
Any of that. There's a generic female voice.
You can choose your voice. You can choose your voice, and there's a couple of different options, and they all sound like anime VO audition tapes. They all sound like somebody who's like, I want to become a voice actor for anime. Here's my best weird pervert. Here's my best spunky girl. Here's my best cool guy. And you know what? Shout outs to the voice actors. Y'all, I'm sure, worked really hard on this. And there is one kind of butchy sounding voice that I did pick for mine, and that is it. That is as deep as you can go. And I was baffled.
Shout outs, honestly. I'm sure there are plenty of people who worked very hard on this, but I think you also were underserved by the end of the project.
Yeah, I think because you probably have been laid off.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Oh, they were probably just pay contractors 1099s. VAs in Japan are treated like garbage. VAs in America. VAs everywhere.
Those devs in general is what I mean.
Everybody, devs, VA. Listen, if you have the opportunity, look into unionization.
God,
this is the OSG call.
The OSG call, please unionize voice actors. They're just as important.
So there were two things that I was thinking about a lot with this game. And I was thinking about Overwatch, which I think is undeniable because that had been dominant in the conversation as far as team-based shooters for a long time. And I had personal experience with Overwatch, not as much as, say, Brian, but, like, you know, I played for a while. And Team Fortress 2. Those were kind of the two things that I was thinking about. And one of the things right off the bat that I could feel that this game was really lacking was characters. Because, like, I played Overwatch when I was dog shit at it because I liked the character designs. And people are still obsessed with the Meet the Heavy, Meet the Pyro videos, with the Team Fortress 2 comics. And, like, I feel like this game maybe had the idea that the existing Gundam shows and manga were, like, enough. Did y'all get that feeling? Like they were kind of hoping that people would bring that into this so they didn't have to do anything with this?
Brian?
I do. I also think it totally could have worked.
Oh, yeah.
Because one thing that I think is kind of neat is that the kits for them, at least for the mobile suits that I was able to get into, they seemed like fairly deliberate and thought out in terms of, I mean, listen, I played Overwatch from the day it released till the day that it died, which is a date that is arguable, but it is dead. Let nobody tell you otherwise.
For those at home, I'm saluting the death of Overwatch 1. Someday we're going to get a sequel with those great characters with PvE, and I can't wait.
Good God. When it comes down to brass tacks, these games have two things. They have actual shooting feel, gameplay feel mechanics, and they also have kits. They also have, like, strategy, kind of putting together movesets, and team composition. Those are the two things that make or break these games. And this game doesn't really have either of them in all that much detail.
Yeah, the kits in this, like, there's thought, right? Like,
yeah.
We'll go through, most of this episode, I'm going to be real with you, is us just going through the entire roster.
That's kind of what I thought.
Which I'm sure is exactly what anyone who is listening to this is listening for. Yeah. So let's be perverts.
But they all have reasons to them, lore reasons for their moves and abilities, but they're lifeless husks without the characters.
And also, it feels like such bare minimum dog shit to play.
Yes! Nothing feels effective.
That's really going to get in the way of, like, you interfacing with the way those abilities work together.
Yeah.
Now, I played this game, I believe, as it was intended, which is on a controller. And my experience...
Unbelievable.
Actually... It plays better on a controller, or it did play better. Never forget, rest in peace, 9/11 was an inside job. Gundam Evo is dead.
Hello?
But yeah, no, I played it on the controller, and even so, I felt floaty. It felt weird. Because like you said, Brian, it's like Overwatch, at least when I played it, some of the weapons felt good. And like I had a brief dalliance with Destiny. That game is a game that has gun feel like in its pocket.
Yeah.
Like shooting guns in Destiny just feels good.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, when I was doing shit in this game, like, I'm not MLG by any standards, but I just was like, wow, I sure am at a fixed hover point above something, which doesn't feel like a mech, and I sure am blowing up targets.
Gun on screen, go pew, pew, pew.
That was disappointing even for me. I am as close to a layman as you will get. I mean, I've been playing video games literally since Armored Core 1, but like I'm a layman in this genre, and it just, there was nothing here for me. So yeah, y'all are God's bravest soldiers for even trying to play this the way it was intended.
I mean, from the bottom
I did the tutorial.
From the bottom up, like a thing that makes the character is like how it feels to play them. I mean, the reason people like to play Tracer in Overwatch is because they love the way it feels to zip around the map like that. All of the model units in Gundam Evolution pretty much move at the same rate. They have like little different mechanics as far as their boost goes, but like nothing feels like it's connecting when you connect. Like one of the ones I played the most, which was just the Zaku, has like it throws like a heat tomahawk as like its ult. It doesn't feel like anything.
Oh.
I don't know what the aiming is because
it goes so fast. You don't feel it.
It loses itself completely in the middle of everything. You don't feel it when you're throwing it. And I was just like, oh, okay. This is how it's going to go.
All of the ults feel that way. All of them just feel very, like, yes, they can be effective to clear out a room. Like, I'm thinking of the gun tank's core booster explosion. But, like, you don't feel satisfied from it. It goes so fast and is just, in a way that
I don't know
Diva,
if any of y'all... Yeah, in a way that Diva's ult doesn't. Like, the ults in Overwatch felt meaty. They felt powerful. I played the Asimar. How are we pronouncing that?
I think it's Asimar, right?
It's Asimar.
I don't want it to be the D&D race, which is Asimar, so... I played the Asimar because I fell in love with it. We'll get to that later. But I wanted to try it, and its kit difficulty was like they have stars for the difficulty of a kit. Like, so there were obviously some mobile suits that were supposed to be beginner friendly with their kits, and some that were more complex. So the Ashmar I think was 2 stars or something. It was a little bit more difficult. I think it was just because it was not responsive in the way the ults were made. Like, the whole thing with the Ashmar is you turn into a flying saucer basically with a gun on it. When I did that, it was like impossible to control. Those controls were so bad. I don't know if it literally briefly inverts your controls to aerial, but I had no sense that I had any control over that thing and that it was over. It was done. It was like 10 seconds. And I remember sitting there. Thankfully I wasn't in a match or anything. I was just in the shooting range trying things out and trying to get a feel for these mechs. And I was just sitting there like, I really wanted to get excited about a mech. And like, this is depressing. I can't imagine what it's like for people who actually have like long histories with certain models and were like hyped to play them in this game. And rough.
Yeah, I don't know anybody like that. I'm not dead inside. Brian, what unit did you get drawn to? That kind of makes me want to think. Nico liked the Asimar. What about you? My biggest complaint about playing this was that it didn't have any of the franchise mechs that I actually really like. Yeah.
No, like almost no rep for Gundam Wing except for the goofiest fucking one. So wait, hold on. I have to. This is my notes app apology for Alex's top surgery.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The heavy arms.
I have to say that the heavy arms is fine.
Heavy arms endless wing custom. It's one of the best customs.
It's unbelievable. Hey, can we talk about how that? So, in case you're not a familiar listener, we have a thing about mechs that have 2 Gatling guns for arms.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how this one in Gundam Evolution has 2 Gatling guns for arms? And if you look at the character model while it's firing, it only fires one of them. The other one is for show.
Yeah, it's dual wielding these Gatling guns, one in each arm, and you shoot, and just one shoots. But on your model, it looks it's. Why have 2 guns when you can only fire one?
Fucking believable. No, but so the one that I actually ended up playing and the kit that I felt like I was doing something in was the good old original Amuro Gundam. Which is one of my least favorite.
The Gundam.
The Gundam.
The most generic looking mother Gundam.
Which is like one of my least favorite fucking mechs actually ever. I'm so sorry to OG Gundams. Like, I do not like the way this boy looks, but it's kit. I got kills. I held objectives. I did shit in this mech. I couldn't do fuck all in Izaku or in any other fucking unit. I was miserable.
It's beautiful.
Oh.
So I'm just going to run through some facts, chime in as you want. So this was announced on July 15th, 2021, when they opened for beta testing. It was released over a year later in September of 2022. So a lot of good beta testing went into this. And it is shutting down service on November 29th, 2023. So entirety from announcing it to the public to shutting it down, 2021 to 2023.
It doesn't feel like they even really made a go of it.
Yeah.
It's just, another thing I guess I could bring up is Titanfall 1, because, in doing research for this podcast and trying to figure out what we would want to include, I was like, I need to play Titanfall 1 because I was under the misapprehension that it was a single player campaign with some multiplayer. Titanfall 1 was also all multiplayer, but that had such memorable characters and stories that it then spawned Titanfall 2 and then Apex Legends. Like, it has had an enduring legacy. And with the promise, I guess, of the Overwatch League, with the idea of esports, which is now seeing a huge decline, it makes me wonder if Bandai was looking for an instant hit.
Yeah.
And that was the only way that this project would have survived, which is such a miserable prospect for just video gaming. It just feels like such a cash grab and something that they clearly gave such a narrow window to hit and find fans. It's depressing. It really doesn't feel like this was a project with anyone's actual passion behind it. It was just like, here's a formula. We have this IP. Let's put together a generic hero shooter and see if we can make $1 million off these people.
Well, games as a service is such a big money mover for these groups now, and they have this IP that they know has a lot of older fans who have dough to blow. They have a lot of Alices that they can appeal to, and they assumed they could just, I assume the assumption is they could just throw this out and people would want to collect their little robots that they love and play around with them. Like I make the pew pew sounds. Yeah.
You know, I love the models. I like the little different animations. Like, obviously, this is the appeal of any game that's going to have a lot of cosmetics and things like that. I don't believe they had a loot box mechanic.
There is.
They just had the season pass.
There's a loot box mechanic. There's a loot box. There's a season pass.
I feel like you can. It's one of those obvious. It was poorly managed. It was poorly scheduled. The economy sucks. I mean, it's like nigh impossible to get a roll.
It's garbage.
Like Overwatch hands you like 10 rolls a fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
They just. I don't know shit about like gambling, like taking advantage of gambling shit, which is fucked up. I don't know anything about that, and it seems obvious to me that you would want to give more rolls at less chances instead of just like making it so that you had to play 10 matches in order to try to open one thing. Do you know what I mean?
And especially with so much garbage.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, realistically, people want skins and animations and stuff. They don't want 5 million keychains.
And new goddamn robots. They only released, like 4?
As of the end of this game, there will be 23 units in the game. 16 of those were in the original release.
Okay, that's not terrible, but they also didn't really, like I said, maybe some of the most iconic ones, but like you imagine Gundam, there's like so many cool, cool, weird guys.
Well, people have their favorites.
There are no cool, weird guys.
People have their favorites that they latch onto in the series and that they love, and they have their characters. And like, the one that, so what I was always pissed off about with this game, this is what put me off, right? Every time a game starts, you get your little player card, right? And it shows everybody's player cards.
Yeah.
To get one of the cool animated ones, you have to just keep drawing. You have to keep rolling gacha. But the gacha is full of so much garbage that you don't want. And there's like no guarantee. There's no like, oh, this is the, title card gacha or anything like that. No.
There's no banners.
It's like they have some banners, but it's more like, which shitty skin set do you want? Because they didn't have enough Gundams to really do the Gundams. While the developers stated that this was not going to be pay to win at any point, there were Gundams that you could only unlock with coins, which you have to pay cash for.
Oh, yep.
And while the top ranked Gundams from the community weren't ever behind that, they existed. So say for me, I would want this cool Gundam skin. I can only get it with real money. That's garbage.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can all agree that that's garbage. Anyway, as somebody who loves gacha and loves gacha rolls, you need to give your person gacha rolls consistently as a free-to-win player, or it's bullshit. Okay, so this game was available on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, with no cross-play between platforms.
Yeah.
So people on PC can only play with PC, Xbox with Xbox, etc.
Death warrant.
Yeah.
Death warrant for a group shooter like this.
Yeah.
Speaking of death warrant, wait, I had this pulled up. As of right now, while we were recording this, there are 131 players in Gundam Evolution. The 24-hour peak is 279 players. The peak over a 12-month period is 56,911. So they had a market. There could have been people for this, but as of now, 131 players play in this game.
I mean, we played 4 or 5 matches, and it was pretty much a rotating cast of maybe 7 other players that were just
we saw the same people over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Metascore for this game is critic at a 72. That is with 9 critic reviews from such great institutions as ZTGD, Inverse, Invin, GameStar, and Noisy Pixel. All gave it great reviews.
Oh, yeah, they did.
People you can go to trust.
Yikes.
I don't know who any of those people are, but it sounds like they may have gotten some moolah.
What? No. Your user score for this with 24 ratings is a 5.0.
Out of 10?
5.0 out of 10.
Okay.
I want to read this score.
Do it.
I want to read this entire review that was written September 28th, 2022. So a couple weeks after release. I love this game, though I feel like I'm the exact target audience. 1, I love Gundam in all its forms, from realistic to cartoony. Number 2, I'm not a huge FPS player. I've played TF2, Overwatch, Paladin, Splatoon 1, 2, and 3, all the Halo games, Tribes, Quake, 3, Unreal Tournament, Titanfall 1 and 2, Counter-Strike, and a few others I can't recall.
Homie, you are an FPS.
So basically, I don't go looking for multiplayer shooters. I wait for one to come to me that fits me to enjoy it.
Shout out to this reviewer who is unaware of themselves.
I'm a little disappointed in how the monetization works, but it is what it is. People should just have fun with the standard roster till they earn enough to unlock. The 5 locked suits are not premium or overpowered. Oh, at release, there were locked suits. You did not have the whole roster at the beginning.
Lord, yep.
I've dropped Unicorn Gundam with RX-78, no problem. A mobile suit is only as powerful as the pilot is skilled. The game has a very low barrier for entry for hardware too. I can very capably run this game at 60 FPS and 4K. While streaming, it's magnificent. My only criticism would be that Namco Bandai need to find a better way to give us capital for robot unblocks. Thank you to Ed the Engel for that wonderful review.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Every other one is like a 1.
Well, that's the thing. That's the market. That's the person that they were shooting for, and they let Ed down.
They let Ed down.
They let Alice down. They let Ed down. They let down the people who were optimistic for the future, who wanted to believe in the vision.
Am I the Ed of this podcast? So as of the end of this game, they had 6 total seasons of content over the course of it, the last of which is the Zeta update, which included the Zeta Gundam. There are 4 game types. The Wikipedia actually does need updated because they added a 4th game type last year.
Oh, we gotta be on that.
Called Headquarters, which is just capture the point and then bomb. So 2 existing game modes put into one.
Oh my god.
The innovation.
Blizzard Core.
In total, this game has 11 maps.
Oh.
I never saw a single one, of course, because I couldn't get into a game.
They're all the same.
They are. This game has 3 modes, ranked, casual, and custom. One thing, this does follow the Overwatch model, so there is only team chat, there is no global chat, and there is no scoreboard during the game. The only thing you get is the highlights at the end. It does not track anything else. This game relies on an in-game currency called Evo coins. They stopped the sale of these when they announced that the game was going to end. So they stopped the sale of that on July 26, 2023. Fun fact about Evo coins, they expire after a year. So if you bought a coin at release, it could expire before this game shuts down.
Jesus Christ.
Now, a little fun fact is, despite the game shutting down, they have not unlocked all of the characters. So if you do not have the characters currently, you cannot buy coins to get the characters. So you can only grind to unlock them.
Yep.
Which you have to play games to grind to unlock. So I haven't even touched all of the units in this game.
Yeah.
So many.
And that's the stats. That is the stats.
The numbers, the deep research. Thank you, Alice, for providing us the data.
Thank you.
Now, let's talk about some goddamn mechs. So what we're going to do...
No, briefly, can we speculate on what could have been?
Yeah. I mean, it's called Gundam Battle Operation 2. I highly recommend anybody check that out because it's very good.
Here's me as a layman. So let's say I'm just some guy who wears a suit and has money and is like, you know what I've heard is big with the kids? This shit. Let's make a video game. Me, as someone who knows jack shit about anything, goes, okay, how can we come up with a fun story idea for why all these different Gundams are here? Well, let's mix up some kind of weird, wacky sci-fi event, and then, we'll have endless money. We can print money on people excited to see certain characters from certain runs of Gundam interact with other characters that they otherwise would have never met, or they've interacted with only in certain circumstances. Let's get barks, let's get, like the kind of, in Overwatch, you sometimes have like banter between characters, either on the same team and sometimes opposing barks. Let's leverage these characters and then let's absolutely set up a whole bunch of mech porn opportunities, like deep customization, not just full body skins, because they kind of got at this. Your weapon skin and your mech skin can match, or they cannot match, and so it's a way to spend more coin. But it also hints at the idea that they could have done things like have customizable paint on different parts, like lean into the enthusiasm. And again, just the lack of characters. The only time you see characters is in splash art.
Yeah.
And it's it's so baffling because, like you said, they have a model for success in this other game.
And I think, so something I think you brought up is that, you know, the relationship between the mech and the pilot has to be special. Like, that's a very big driving factor.
We've discussed that.
This game could have been passable. All they had to do was take the recorded lines from the TV shows from the characters who pilot these and just put them in.
Yeah.
I would have loved if they had banter between them, but just acknowledge
Anything
they
would
have
have been
pilots and that the pilots have characters, because people love Shar Aznable.
I've never betrayed anyone in my entire life.
He has never betrayed anyone in his life.
All right, here's for the drop.
Insert drop here. But, like, who gives a shit about the Sazabi, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, but what baffled me too is out of the skins, only like 1 or 2 would be iconic from the show. You know, because I looked at all the different skins for all the different types of characters, because this is basically what I could look at. I couldn't get into a game, or all the different types of mechs. And, you know, they would have iconic ones. They would have like, oh, this is so-and-so's mech from this series. And that was just 1 out of like 17 skins you could pull. There are things, like you said, lines that already exist, visuals that already exist, even just types of damage that already exist that they could have leveraged. There is such a lack of imagination here for what it could have been that it's frustrating that it exists at all.
Yeah, I want to, the lack of imagination is really what it is. Like, there's, like I said at the very beginning, like, RIP to the possibility space of this, because it's like, like, I don't think it's that much of a stretch in terms of like taxing your resources as a studio to, you know, sit down and work with what you have and try to get just a little bit more out. And it's so painfully obvious how siloed all of the different like gimmicks and features are that are literally just made so that you will buy like a keychain. That hurts when you already know that half the shit that these people are making is to sell you a toy anyway. So it's like, what are you even doing here? This is what you do. This is what Bandai Namco does. And they did it so bad. How?
I saw a really succinct point when I was doing research about this, which is like, they could have done so much with the full arm of Bandai Namco. They could have like had, oh, you buy a kit, you get a code that you can redeem in Gundam Evolution for a skin or something. Like so many things you could have tied in with the toy lines, which are so big in this. And they didn't do shit. Again, rip the possibility space.
This feels like shovelware. Like, I'm just gonna say that, and I may be using the term erroneously, but shovelware, to my understanding, is
like a trenching shovel, or
like a trenching shovel. It's a game.
Is there a shovel Gundam? I'm looking up. You continue.
Yeah, please look up the shovel Gundam. I want to know. It's shovelware is typically a quantity thing. And so you typically see large batches of games, so that doesn't fully describe this, but it's usually remarked on as it is trying to capture a moment, a gimmick. It is made extremely cheaply, and it leverages any gimmick it can to get attention and money.
Oh, like pulp, basically, like video game pulp. Yeah.
It's video game pulp. Yeah. But it's like, because like you said, it's like the heavy arms only shoots from one gun. Someone did not rig and program that model to shoot twice, you know, from the arms.
It's the thoughtlessness.
The feel of everything feels bad.
Yeah.
The lines are generic. They didn't actually use anything more than glossy PNGs from these properties and then the basic designs. It really feels like someone walked in and said, how cheaply can we make a Gundam game to try to extract the maximum wealth? And then it flopped because people could recognize that that was kind of what was happening here. And now they're burying it unceremoniously. But I think it's really miserable to see this coming out of a company and with such a prominent IP and not out of just like some place that specializes in shovelware. Like, this is a really big scale for how bad this is.
Also, it immediately went up against Overwatch 2, which released on October 4th, 2022.
And I mean, you flop against Overwatch 2?
Well, the thing about Overwatch 2 is that, I mean, for like a solid couple months, it revitalized it. I mean, it brought me back, and I have an extremely complicated and fraught relationship with that game. At right now, I hate it and I hate thinking about it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go back when that game released, and I think so many other people did too. And then we all cleared out again when it turned out it was just a bunch of garbage. But
it's so funny. But like when you think of Gundam Evolution, it's like Overwatch, Team Fortress 2, Apex Legends. It was entering a crowded space, but it had the potential to be really different in terms of mechs. And it had free lessons on how to not screw this stuff up everywhere.
Yeah.
And you could have been a legitimate capture point from people fleeing Overwatch 2 when they realized that it wasn't what they wanted it to be. And they just did not.
Yeah. Another thing on the topic of, there is a shovel. There's a shovel Gundam.
Yeah, there's a shuttle Gundam.
Or this is a bubble suit.
I want to look. I want joy.
Do you want to know the name of that Gundam? Because it's pretty great.
Yeah.
The CMS 328 Desperado.
It's a Heat Hawk shovel.
It's from one of the worst Gundam series. Sorry.
Sorry, I'm full of joy.
I want to say one more thing about just the possibility space, which is that there are, how many maps did you say there were?
11.
And how many of those are in space? That's a goose egg, folks.
Oh my god.
There's one that's on a space base with the same gravity.
No.
With the same gravity as Earth on the moon. There's one moon base. Yeah, that's it. That's the only space map in the show Gundam, which occurs mostly in space.
Yeah, I don't know much about Gundam, but I know space is there.
Any other thoughts? Also, I just want to say I think you're giving this a lot of credence. I do think this is shovelware. And the reason I think this is because this is under a new flag development studio under Bandai Namco, which has created this and has created Blue Protocol, which is a little better as an action RPG, but it's also kind of shovelware.
Oof.
Yeah. Sorry, Blue Protocol fans. It has better gacha. So what we're going to do, let's get into some goddamn mechs.
Yeah.
We're not going to rate them yet because that's going to come later. But there are 22 mechs, each of them very important. Now, how much of Gundam do you know, Brian?
Okay, I have seen all of Gundam Wing several times. I am slowly, agonizingly getting my way through Zeta Suit, but I haven't really. I've tried to start many things. I was young, or I didn't get them, or they didn't capture my attention enough at the time. I need to watch more. I'm not super familiar with it as a franchise in general.
Yeah. What about you, Nico? What's your exposure to Gundam?
Brian, you've also seen this one. I've seen 0080 War in the Pocket.
Yes, War in the Pocket. Sorry. All-timer.
And I've seen Gunpla in real life. And that's what I know about Gundam.
Oh, I've seen the 7-Eleven Gunpla. Shoutouts to co-host.
Shout out to the 7-Eleven Gundam, which I now am going to buy multiple kits because Brian has informed me that there is an entire series
Yep.
of 7-Eleven Gundams.
Do you think any of them have little 7-Eleven accessories like a Big Gulp or an Icy?
Well, they're Japanese. They don't have the Big Gulp because they don't need our giant containers of soda. This is Dunk on America.
This seems like an opportunity for kit bashing, so I'm excited to make us all Big Gulps to attach to our 7-Eleven mechs.
So what you do? So they have the cup of ramen Gunpla kit, and you just redo it to be okay.
Yeah, as the Big Gulp. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, but I don't know anything.
So did you get to touch any of the units in this? Both of you. Did you get to actually play with any of them or just look at them?
I played with several while we were playing. I played the Zaku, I played the Sazabi, I played the Gun Tank, I played the OG Gundam. I think I went through all of the ones that you can just do off the bat by default.
Nice. What about you, Nico?
Yeah, I went through the default one in the tutorial.
Pale Rider.
And then I went over to the practice range.
Yeah.
And I took out the Ashamar because, like I said, I really liked the shape and I wanted to try it. I tried the Zaku 2 Melee. I tried the heavy arms. I had to do it. Let me tell you, that is an unengaging gun range. Like, I know it's not supposed to be thrilling, but that was bored. Like, I was bored just trying stuff.
Shoutouts to Apex Legend for the best gun range in any game. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the roster. And we're just going to talk about vibes and abilities and kits.
Yeah.
Just all one-to-one. So, okay. So we're going to start with number 1. The RX-80PR Pale Rider. Vibe checks from the both of you. And to those listening, photos will be on the website.
I mean, it feels default.
This is the labor of the mobile suits.
Yeah.
This looks like a cop.
Yeah, that's actually true. It's a cop.
This looks like a fucking cop.
Hey now. So yeah, the Pale Rider is just your generic dude standing emoji, but blue.
Thus a cop.
His kit is he has a generic bullpup machine gun. We're going to talk about the G maneuvers. So the G maneuvers are their special abilities, and these are mostly lore specific things, but they're basically the Overwatch ult of these things. So his G maneuver is the Hades system, which just makes him do more damage. It looks cool as shit.
He faster.
He go fast, he shoot harder. What are our thoughts on this guy? I mean, we can go through his skills, his other skills. He just has a generic EMP grenade that sucks. He has hand grenades. He has 2 kinds of grenades, and then a mobile repair pod, which is weird.
I don't know anything about where the Pale Rider's from. This felt like the least deliberate kit to me. It is a bunch of shit slapped together. None of these things really thematize together into like a unit that serves a purpose. It's just guy who throws grenades or throws a heal or does more damage. Like, what is those? Together.
It's the Soldier 76 of this game.
Yeah,
it's a basic everyman.
This is also the one you play
a little heal.
In the tutorial that did they force you guys through the tutorial when you first launched? Yeah. So you play this, and it's very much the most generic kit. It is like, I want to play a game, but I don't want it to be hard. So that's the Pale Rider, which brings us to the RX-78-2 Gundam.
This is my boy.
Oh, the Gundam. I heard of him.
This is so this is just the Gundam that Amuro Ray. So this is man standing emoji, but red, blue, yellow, and white. The samurai ass swords on his back.
Yeah, did those do anything?
Nope.
Not in the game, but...
Oh.
It's unbelievable how he doesn't use the swords at all.
To be clear, every Gundam has a sword built into it, but... like there's no the melee button in this is like bashing.
Yeah,
that's it. You can gun bash.
It's insane. It's insane.
His main weapon is his laser rifle. He can scope it in. His G maneuver is super napalm, which is just a big exploding grenade.
It's actually so strong.
It actually is kind of OP because most of the game is stand in an area to capture, and his G maneuver encapsulates all of that. He has the Gundam shield.
This thing is also OP. I love this thing. You just are so unkillable.
Yep. And then the Hyper Hammer, which is just a ranged melee attack that knocks people back. And that's the Gundam. It's very true to the original lore. What are your thoughts?
This was my boy.
This is fun. This is fun. It's got things going on in a way, but the other one feels more like a cop in comparison to this, because this feels like your basic kit. Like,
exactly.
This is the iconic
this feels
kit,
like
right?
a thing that goes together. You're a bruiser who can lock down an area. You have the ability to stand in front and knock people back. And then that beam rifle is a little FNFAL. It's a single shot rifle, which it really, really hits hard. I felt like I was doing something in this mech, unlike any of the other ones I played.
I mean, you can see the damage that it does for how many shots it has.
Yeah.
It's hefty. It actually feels like a beam laser
weapon. That's cool.
Yeah, the mace is cool.
Yeah, the mace in this, which honestly, like, it's so of when Gundam was created that like they were like, yeah, he's gonna have a ball on a chain mace that he can throw. Yeah. And this occurs in the original series. I'm just gonna give you this
so
one.
Funny.
He's from the original series.
Damn, for real?
Yeah, right. So that's him. Going to the next one. The MS-06 Zaku 2, and in brackets, ranged. We'll get to why they call it the ranged one later.
Is it because it has a gun?
Yeah, and the other one has an axe.
I like that this is 4-star difficulty. Hey, do you want to suck?
So his kit is reliant on getting in there and getting out. So his main is just a generic
can you scroll back up to where it says Zaku 2 ranged, and then under it says range, close range?
Yes.
What are we doing here?
Oh, by the way, we are looking at the official website for Gundam Evolution, which is probably not going to go down in November. But so main weapon is just a generic dumb machine gun. The G mover is the Heat Hawk that Brian talked about earlier, which you just run forward and slash the enemies.
It's not even big.
It doesn't even do that much damage.
And it feels like you've done nothing. Like in-game, it feels like nothing.
It has no effects either. It doesn't look like anything. It looks so boring. It looks like a regular attack.
That seems like it either does the same damage or maybe just a scooch more than just a single shot from the regular Gundam rifle.
Right.
That's miserable. I mean, I know it gets multiple enemies, but like, wowza, that sucks.
It does. It sucks. The problem, this is the least successful kit to me. I tried really hard to play the Zaku too because I really like the Zaku as a design. I love Xeon mechs so much. But this thing, like, it's supposed to be a brawler, but the damage values of everything in this game are so flattened that nobody actually can take more hits than anybody else. So you just end up dying more. That's it. End of story.
That's it.
Yeah.
I will say, like, the kit reminds me of, in a MOBA, a jungler, because it's predicated on getting in and doing damage, then ghosting and leaving.
It's an ambush. Yeah.
But it doesn't do the damage.
It doesn't do the damage, and it can't live through the burst, so it just dies. You just run in and die.
Because its invulnerability is so small, you can't escape. Like, it has a 3 boost, so a lot of this game, you have a boost to move and jump around, but it's so clunky that it's not worth it. But yeah, that's the Zaku 2. Nico, your thoughts on the little boy?
I wanted to love the Zaku 2 as well. Like, it's prejudice because 0080 was the first Gundam thing I ever saw, and it became a cornerstone of this show because that was our demo episode. But, like, I have a lot of affection for the Zaku. I would love to find this in the woods.
I would love to eat McDonald's on the ground in front of this thing.
But, like, it just sucks. And I don't know... For the listener, if I'm quiet when everyone is discussing the high-level gaming concepts, it's because I'm not a real gamer, as you would say. I like to play single-player RPG campaigns on easy. It's my hobby. And there's nothing wrong with any way of playing, obviously, but like I don't have anything to contribute there. I can just say that I'm sad. Like I felt it even in the practice gun arena, because like I said, I took the Zaku's out. I took the Zaku range and the Zaku melee. And yeah, I mean, the main thing for me is when you do an ult, that's something that even people who don't know jack shit about team shooters can get excited about. My whole thing in Overwatch was just trying different characters so I could see their crazy ult animation.
Yeah.
And this G maneuver is so sad.
It looks like shit.
It looks like that should be a regular part of the kit.
Yeah.
Like instead of the grenade, the whatever the active skill 2 is, the G maneuver, the heat hawk slash should be part of its regular kit that it can use more often, and then something cooler should have been a G maneuver for this kit.
I mean, this should be the Genji. This should turn you into a melee only where your buttons just swing your axe.
Yes.
But then there would be no point in having a separate Zaku melee, I think.
Yeah.
Brian, I do want to talk to you as a gamer to gamer chat.
I'll go outside.
Here's my thought. The ults in this are so stingy. Like, in one round, you might get one ult. You might collect enough for one ult. It is
okay, I did notice
so
that
stingy.
too.
Yeah.
Like, even in the gun range, just firing at dummies, it took so long that I only played with like 3 or 4 units just in the gun range to get a feel for them and see their animations, because it took so fucking long to build up a G maneuver that I didn't want to keep doing it. And I wasn't even like in a game where other people could kill me.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about ults earlier. We talked about Diva's ult specifically from Overwatch, and Overwatch is going to be the touchstone because it's kind of the MOBA in recent history. But so I have probably over 1,000 hours logged in Overwatch. Actually, I'm not even going to say probably. I have definitely over 1,000 hours logged in Overwatch. I would estimate 400 of them are probably on Diva alone. She is an exceptionally built fucking MOBA character. And I'm not saying every character needs to be a diva, but when you launch Diva's ult, it changes the way everyone else has to play the game.
It disrupts. It's such a good disruption to the just it being a shooter.
And for that reason, it's okay for her ult to take a little longer than, say, Tracer's, because Tracer just throws a grenade. That's her whole shit, right? She has an ult every 5 seconds because it doesn't do much. When it takes me 45 to 60% of a match to get one little melee charge that cannot even kill anybody, what are we doing? What is the point of having this move?
It can't insta any character because, like you said, the healths are flat in this game.
Yeah.
Like, everyone dies at about the exact same rate unless you have a skill.
Yeah, it's rough.
Next up, the ASW-G-08 Gundam Barbados. The Gundam Barbados is your generic Gundam. a little more round, a little more pokey. His big thing is he's already battle damaged because of the lore, and he has a giant fucking axe.
It's like an axe mace. Yeah.
Yes, mace.
But it is bladed. It is heavily bladed for a mace.
But it also does a swing attack. So you'll see in this demo that this does about as much as the ult of the Zaku range.
Yeah, it really does. And it looks almost exactly the same in terms of like effects and also like hit on the enemy.
I mean, this is the Reinhardt, right?
This is the Reinhardt.
Yeah.
His sub-weapon is the same, like it's two attacks with the same mace. His G maneuver is the Alea Vijnana system, which just enables slash attacks and moves you around.
Oh, he pulls out like a katana.
Yeah.
He uses the sword on his back. That's hilarious. You go the whole match.
People love the Barbados in this game. I was talking about this on co-host. There were people who were like...
People swear by this one. This is the unit.
Barbados, Unga Bunga, Barbados, absolute wrecker of house. I never got to really play this one. I don't. Is this one locked? I don't know why I never played this one.
No, this is one of the freebies.
Huh. Maybe I just didn't want to.
Yeah, I will say shout out to...
Well, we've got until November.
No.
Shout out to my dear friend who, the minute I booted up Gundam Evolution to get some data on this, just IO'd me, play the Barbados. It's the only one worth anything.
Immediate feedback.
I do want to shout out that his skills are to jump him into combat and to smash into combat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Again,
I should have played with this guy.
Like when we talk about kits, this is a good kit.
This is a good kit.
You can be
it's all
okay
melee
with
focused,
it, but you can be great at it.
Your active skill being to close as a melee unit, like, yeah, this makes sense. This is cool. This is what I would want for a melee character. I'm liking this guy. Get into the Gundam Barbados.
I'm a known polearm pervert, and I do really like the way this one looks, and I like the way its weapon works a lot.
I like that it's already battle damaged. I like the big weapon. It looks like, now this is overused. It looks a little like a Dark Souls enemy Gundam.
A little bit.
Like not a high level one.
I like how we gushed over the Barbados so much that Alice had to just leave.
Alice did leave. Alice is like, I've had enough.
I've had enough.
We have not spared any dignity for my favorite one, which is the one that looks like a crab, I assume. I don't remember which one. Let me pull that up. I must have removed it.
My apologies. Sorry. The cat was caught in the laundry room.
Oh no.
Don't tell anybody. I was like, is that my cat? You know, okay.
I see who's coming up next. I'm kind of excited. This is another one I wanted to work really bad and never did for me.
Okay.
Oh, let's get into it. We gushed about the Barbados.
The next one is the MSN 04 Sazabi. The Sazabi is a very thick red boy with a giant shield and a giant pulse laser. He's got kind of flared feet. He's mostly made for space combat. His main weapon is a beam shot rifle, which kind of has like a shotgun effect to it. He also, he has a shield that he can pull up. He's a tanky character, so he can pull the shield up and kind of get in there.
Yeah.
His G maneuver is his funnels, which are a new type weapon that shoot out. And they're basically just shoot out and shoot people from all different directions while you're fighting.
Oh, those are actually really cool. I like the animation
cool.
on that.
Are one of the coolest things in Gundam.
It's honestly one of the greatest things in Gundam.
That's really funny objectively.
It's also that they're called
funnels
consecutively through all of the series. His other shoot is a homing boost where he just gets up.
Closes, yeah.
This one I love. He has a tomahawk he throws that he can then teleport, So if you throw the tomahawk and you hit somebody, you can use it. You see he has like a little F to jump to. So you can jump to where the tomahawk is. So
oh my God.
His idea is he gets in there and he tanks. What are your thoughts on the Sazabi?
There's literally no point in playing Zaku 2. Like, I've only seen 2 more models. It's like, don't play the Zaku 2.
I felt, again, just so clumsy with this one. Just like for a kit that's going to work like this, you really need the game to feel good to play, in my opinion. You need to be able to like really be able to place yourself. And since everything is weightless, nothing feels like you're doing anything. It was really hard for me to have the field awareness that is required to play something that isn't a melee champ, but is supposed to be in the front lines and is highly mobile. I had no sense of place. And so I ended up, again, just kind of not tanking, but dying first.
Yeah. I mean, total, this character has 2,800 health between its shield and itself. This game, the damage is so garbage that somebody can just get through that in about 2 seconds, which is painful.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next one, one of Alice's favorites. The MSA-005 Mathus.
This thing is erect. I don't think we can get around that.
The Mathus is a transforming unit. It is gold. Specifically, it's gold with green accents. He dual wields pistols and turns into a plane.
Do both the pistols fire? Oh
Yes.
my god, both the pistols fire. What happened with the heavy arms?
What happened with the heavy arms?
So yeah, he dual wields pistols. His sub weapon is you link to another character to repair them.
Oh, I love that, actually.
You have to stay within their vicinity for it. You're basically supposed to tie with a tank. You're the DPS for a tank. Yeah, but you're not like required to heal them like a Mercy. There's no healing characters. There's a lot of healing abilities, which we can talk about my thoughts on how healers are the best, because I'm a heal slut. You know this about me.
Yeah, we know this about you. I think the audience could pick it up by inference.
His G maneuver is an energy cable, which boosts somebody that you're tied to. His can transform into a plane at any time and just kind of fly around. Not a lot of the characters can jump high, but some characters can fly above the rest.
But that's so funny that that's an active skill when that is the G maneuver for the Ashimar.
Yeah.
And it felt like shit with the Ashimar.
But with this one, you do it all the time. You're always transforming as the Methus.
Oh my god.
You have Twin Shot, which is you just fire 2 big bullets. And then you also get your own turret that you can throw down to do damage.
Oh, it's like a Torbjorn.
This thing is adorable.
I love the Methus so much. But this little cavity in the middle where he transforms is the biggest mech weak point ever.
Yeah, that's like 4 cables, my guy.
4 cables in the middle of this thing.
I'm so sorry, Alice. This thing really puts me off. I don't know what it is, like in terms of appearance.
Is it the fact that his eye can go up into this part too? So it can go across
I love
and then
that.
up here?
I love that on the one that's 3 units from now. That was the most charming thing in the world.
My problem with the Methus is the whole thing just looks like it's being held together barely. Also, why is this part rounded? Why are the hip bones rounded?
It's a cool kit, though.
Yeah,
the kit itself is cool. The problem is that the Methus is an acquired taste. Moving on to the next one. Let's talk about what unit do you pull from a series when you're making a game? And they chose the RGM 79SP GM Sniper 2. So the GM Sniper 2 is a blue standing man emoji with a sniper rifle. He's just a dude.
This is a SWAT guy. The other guy's a cop. This is a SWAT guy. Like, that's what you've got here.
We had to put a sniper into this game because people want a sniper in an FPS. That's his whole thing.
You can't even one-shot, one kill with him.
You can.
No, only headshots do really good damage, but you have to hit the head. And only certain units can be one-shotted, not all. His G maneuver is he marks enemies through walls.
It is literally what Widowmaker does.
It's exactly what Widowmaker does,
Yeah, he also has a jump pad, which is the worst because most maps don't have areas to go through because you don't have cover in most of this game, which you
know
need.
What else makes this incredibly fucking stupid? There are so many raised, flat-looking, stable-looking surfaces that you cannot clip to. Your character model will slide the fuck off of them.
There's so many invisible
terrain
walls.
Isn't fully. Oh
no,
my
it's
God.
all invisible walls. They don't want you on top of things.
So
the fact that they have
there's
at
no
least
verticality.
2 flying mechs, jumping mechs, and then the whole thing isn't usable. That's miserable. This game really was just put together out of spare parts.
His other skills are he has a machine gun by his head. That's it. And he can shoot a little
recovering gun.
That's a super soaker.
It's a super soaker of healing.
He's vaccinating those people via dart.
Vaxxed?
Look, I'm a defender of the Just a Guy Gundam. This is the worst thing you could have put in a game with 22 units.
Again, you let Alice down.
This is a launch unit. They put this in when they had very few units. They were like, oh shit, we really don't have snipers.
Oh my god.
They could have made them look like anything, and they made them look like that.
Right? And then the next one.
It's my special boy.
This uncircumcised man.
The NRX 044 Asimar.
Ashimar.
So his main weapon is a large beam rifle, which is a 3-round burst.
Which does fuck. It does kind of hit.
It does damage. It hits. Sub-weapon. We didn't describe this. So this is a soft shell crab looking motherfucker.
Yeah! It's even got a little frill.
That transforms into a saucer. If you know what a Rick Dom is, this is a red Rick Dom, but not as cool.
I need a special shout out to the guy who pilots this in Zeta suit.
Yes.
He has the tallest head I've ever seen.
Here's me. I don't know jack shit about Gundam. We've established this. I came into this game like, damn, that's a lot of robots. And I clicked on them one by one, just like getting a feel for them. You know, there's this long ass opening cinematic. So I'm watching it. I'm getting to know him. I see this guy and I'm like, I imprinted on this fucking mech. And it's nothing. I'll be the first to tell you. This is my lame-ass boyfriend of a mech. And if everyone doesn't clap, I'm gonna blow up this whole building. It is nothing. It is goofy. It kind of looks a little bit like the Geth in Mass Effect from the cowled head. I love it, and I don't know why. And it's definitely not from the gameplay, because that sucks.
It does look like a Geth with the head and everything and the wires. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So the Ashimar's G maneuver is punch. He punches.
He punches. It's so...
To be clear, this is the exact same thing as the Heat Hawk.
Yeah.
This is the same skill as the
Except you
Heat
can hit a
Hawk.
few more people. They show you hitting 3 people instead of 2. So I did get this wrong. Its flying is its active skill. It was so difficult to control, I did not enjoy it.
It looks so dumb.
How stupid that thing is.
You see the meter? That's how long it can go. And I was like, I can't fucking control this. I
Wait,
love
that's the
it.
meter for that one?
Yeah, that's the meter.
Did the Methus have a meter? I don't even remember having a meter
check
with a... Yeah, the Methus... Oh,
Yeah.
about
It
the
does,
same
it
length.
does.
Okay.
So the flying mechs are limited only to a meter. And let me tell you, that's short. I'm sure that like a really skilled player, maybe in a game that, look at that fire effect. That's so miserable.
I would say that it's about as long as Diva's. The big core difference is that Diva doesn't feel like shit to play, and also you stay in first person, which I feel like is really important.
Yeah.
That being suddenly in third person is an entirely different control schema.
You switch. It's so hard to control with the sudden shift.
Yeah.
And it's not like you have like crazy better combat capabilities. You can see the damage it's laying down. It does about the same as its little rifle.
It's a
doesn't
movement ability. That's about it.
Yeah.
But like also,
It's pretty
you get
miserable.
such little time with it to get good with it. Like there's no
Yeah.
way to just like...
There's no way to really maximize it unless you just have these skills and you're able to switch the skill set quickly. So as much as I enjoyed him aesthetically, I did not spend much time with my special little guy.
Yeah, I get that. All right. Which brings us to our next one. The
Wow, and they say there's no tops in Gundam.
The ZJ... I gotta do this
That
again.
was nothing.
The ZGMF-XX09T Dom Trooper. To be clear, there are many Doms in the Gundam series. This is a mass production suit. I don't know why they chose this one out of every Gundam. So he is just a giant purple boy with thick bell-bottom jeans and like black shoulder pads with a rocket launcher. He's a thick boy.
Yeah.
His main weapon is the worst rocket launcher I've ever used in a video game.
Yeah, I feel like they were trying for like a Farah, especially what the icon looks like for the G maneuver.
Yeah. Sub-weapon is you just get a little laser beam that is very disappointing. The G maneuver is the Screaming Nimbus
It's a charge.
It's a charge.
Oh my god!
You shoulder check them, which is
and
very
it really
lore
shows
accurate.
off how floaty these fucking controls are. Look at the way that thing corners.
Yeah.
Look how fast it goes too. Your active skill is
It's really
the worst mine, and your other active skill is armor gun, which is like a
Suction
heal
mine.
gun.
but for armor.
Suction mine, so you can throw it onto people.
Oh, okay.
so
I
you-
thought it
you
was sucking
can-
people in.
No.
You can land it on people.
This is another kit that doesn't make any sense. What is this guy
Dumb.
for? He has a long-range rocket launcher with a long-range subfire. Everything else he does is tanky. What are we doing? What does this mean? What are we supposed to do with him?
Yeah, and his health isn't tanky, but again, nobody's health is tanky in this game. What's he doing?
What's he doing? I love him. He looks so good. Is this I don't know. I guess I shouldn't ask, but
I love that he's purple.
I love that he's purple. I love
I have
his
a kit
eyeball.
of this unit.
We
back
bought
Yeah,
it.
here
his
just 'cause
eye.
it's the tri-eye. Yeah, it goes
Yeah.
up and
Yeah.
down, and yep. He's
Well, this is
It's
like
a
a quad,
cool
right? Because it can go
robot.
up and.
So
Yeah.
this is what Xeon developed after the Zaku. So this is their like next generation after the Zaku.
My apologies to the Federation, but you need to Operation Paperclip some of them Zaku designers. Like, these people clearly had an aesthetic sensibility you do not have.
Yeah.
Boy, do I have some great news for you about the lore of Gundam.
I'm so excited for us to very slowly pepper Gundam into this show, and every time I'm like, wow, I'm learning new things.
Nico literally said, "Wow, cool robot."
And y'all are like, but the horrors of war. Okay, this motherfucker.
The WD-M01 Turn A Gundam.
You know what this man looks like?
What?
It looks like imagine you load up a Bethesda Gundam and you get to customize your Gundam.
Okay.
This is like somebody went into the most custom of the face designs and moved the top part of the Gundam down to the bottom in like a Monster
Yo.
Factory fucked up, like, let me put this down here kind of thing. I hate
Fucked up mustache. Absolutely motherfucking hate this dude.
The fucked up mustache, the weird core center of him that's blocky but round.
Does not look like the same robot. Looks like a Lego.
This weird cock piece in the middle. Cod piece. I said cod.
It's a cock piece and it's got wings. Why is this happening?
So it looks like it's a weird dude. Main weapon is a beam rifle that feels okay, that you can charge and shoot. The G maneuver is the Moonbeam Butterfly, which basically you just fly over the map and drop bombs.
It looks like you get about the same amount of flight time as you do in the two other flying mechs, but you are doing damage the whole time, which is what their kids feel like they need for that to actually feel like a cool transformation, but it's this guy's G maneuver.
Yeah, it also looks really cool. That's it. I'm just going to say that.
All of the effects in the game were put into this guy's beautiful wings.
Yes. Active skill is nanoskin. He can self-heal and overhead throw.
You can throw.
Which you literally, you wrestle. You wrestle. This Gundam wrestles, by the way.
I love this so much. It looks so stupid.
Okay, never mind. I've turned around.
We should cover...
I've turned around.
We should cover Turn A. Turn A is wild, and I love it.
I love the fact that they chose the gun tank for the target of this sample because they knew that this looked goofy as hell. And if you picked the one guy that's just one piece, it might look a little bit better. But it doesn't.
Yeah, because every other unit, they don't animate when he throws them.
No.
You animate, and the other character just moves gently.
Oh my god.
No matter who you throw, there's no other animation.
So embarrassing.
The animation budget on this game was nothing.
Do we have to release this episode? Can we call it off?
No,
It's too late.
This. We're having this. I love this show is. I love these robots.
I know. You know what? We were overdue for a hater ep. We have been so
I'm not
full
hating.
of joy.
I love this game.
I know. That's why it's a good hater ep.
Next, we have the RX-75 gun tank.
Let's fucking go. I love him so much.
The gun tank
Nobody can take him away from me.
is a treaded, it's a tank tread rolling robot with 2 guns for arms and over-shoulder cannons. His main weapon is his hands, which
Bop missile.
he just shoots.
Bop. He's also firing.
Yeah, he fires both. Also,
What the fuck happened with the heavy arms?
His, if you don't narrow them down, he just has like aim assist with his, which are just ripped.
I should have played this guy. I would have dominated.
Oh, this guy's
so
great.
Awesome.
He's so great. His G maneuver is the core booster, which you pop open and you fly a little plane that explodes.
Oh my god.
It's so dope, dude.
This is the Diva allegory character. This is very much the Diva allegory character. His other one is just a forward charge.
Yeah, it's the only good one.
His other active skill is he fires his 2 over-shoulder cannons, which are doing area damage. And he also has his own, he can heal other units faster.
He has pieces of several other kits that we've seen so far, and they're just better.
Yeah.
Like, they're just better executed for this guy.
Also, I mean, they knew because the gun tank is absolutely
fan favorite.
One of the fan favorites.
Big
People are
fan
rabid about this. This is the stupidest guy who we love so much. I cannot get enough of him.
This is everyone else's
He's
Ashimar.
so impractical and dumb. I love him.
I will say that he is one of the most practical Gundams in the whole series because he's on trends.
He's the most practical unit in this game.
I do want to say, this is as a Gundam fan, shout out to Gundam fans. Your G maneuver, you fly and explode the core booster. The core booster is where the cockpit is. You are basically shooting yourself out and exploding. Just want to throw that out there.
Fuck that guy.
Now, guys, we've been talking a lot about cop robots, so let's talk about the RGM-79 GM.
Oh my god, you're Riot Cop.
So the GM is the generic soldier unit. This is the mass production version of the Gundam. So it's guy standing, but only a little red with a shield and a pistol.
Riot Cop.
His main pistol, it's just a little pistol, beam spray gun.
It's doing some damage, though.
It is. He also pulls up a shield because he's a tank type. It is a forward shield, so you can damage from behind. His G maneuver is he throws down a bunch of mines that if somebody goes near, they home in on them.
Oh, shit.
So it's mines that just home in. Good area defense unit. He has a shield bash where he does basically...
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't even really stun. There's no stun locking an enemy in this game.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do any maps in this game have lethal drops?
No.
There's no point to this.
Yeah.
Because what I saw when I looked at this immediately was your Lucio. This is your character. You get somebody and you get a cheap kill because you shield bash them off of a ledge. But there's no fucking ledges in this game.
No, there isn't. His other actives is just a grenade and a healing grenade.
This is literally just the OG Gundam, but better and also kind of worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the OG Gundam, but you don't want to have to learn how to use the spike ball. But look at him. He looks so happy. Look at that face.
I'm
in
really
love with
hate
this
this
guy.
I really hate him.
I hate this dude.
I love him. I have multiple GM kits.
If I saw this, I would cut its brake line.
This makes so much sense for you to love, though, because you love the Plain Janes, and this is like this is the superior of the Plain Janes. This is the most main character a Plain Jane is ever gonna get.
This is the Plain Jane in the prom dress, and I love that for you.
My favorite part is that as the GM, we're going to do an entire episode that's just me going through the development of the GM throughout the series.
Alice corners us in a room.
This is the most colorful it gets. This is as colorful as it gets.
No.
Next up is the GN001 Gundam Exia.
Magical girl looking motherfucker.
The Gundam Exia is kind of a more...
He's lanky.
Yeah, magical girl, more thin, has kind of a round glowy circle. He's got a lot of sharp points. More blue than your regular Gundam. His main weapon is he has 2 daggers that he throws.
A knife thrower?
That's just Genji. It's the same animation as Genji and everything.
Yep. His sub-weapon is he can run up and slash people in a line.
That's kind of dope.
His G maneuver is the Trans Am, not the car, which just makes you better at swords. That's what that part does.
Genji.
It doesn't even... Genji. But that doesn't even do anything good.
You have a quick step to get closer to enemy.
Oh my god.
You have a sword and short blade where you double attack with your weapons. And then you also have the beam saber that you pull off of your back for a brief second in a slashy motion.
Yeah.
All of his skills are just slashy with a sword.
This is a cleanup assassin. This is the guy that comes in from behind while everybody is taking damage from the actual skirmish, and you just get all the kills.
Except it seems to do like absolutely jack shit in terms of damage. I guess that makes sense if everybody's already hurt, but like, its G maneuver does so little damage, and it doesn't feel like it connects.
You don't
like when does that hit?
I don't know. That's actually a good. Oh my god. That's actually a good question. Oh yeah, that sucks. That's miserable.
So, Exia, how do you feel about him?
Oh, this is the one that I said, motherfucker, this is just a switchblade.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I hate this thing.
I like it conceptually.
This is a pocket knife.
What if Gundam was skinny? I've never asked that in my life.
We've actively asked for thicker and badder bitches, and we got this.
Yeah.
I just don't know how you can make a sword character feel weightless like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not fun weightless. You don't feel so light that you're moving everywhere. You just don't feel like you're doing anything.
Going to our next one, the RMS 108 Marasai.
The knockoff camphor.
Love him.
No, that's the Suzami Uwu or whatever, yeah.
The Suzu
Suzanne Owu.
So the Murasaki is kind of a thicker green boy with a weird shoulder palisade and beam rifle. He's a little more rounded than your usual units.
Got titties. Got some bara titties.
I love this motherfucker.
His main weapon is this wild... It's literally just a 6-shooter kind of long rifle.
It chunks though.
And his G maneuver, the Sea Snake, which just stuns enemies. So this is the one true stun lock in the game.
We got CC.
Active skill is his... He slashes with the beam.
That does like nothing.
We've seen this move 4 times already. It's a knockback melee.
He can pull people to him. So to be clear, he has a pulling.
I like that a lot.
It's nice if he was a melee character.
Yeah.
He's not.
Yeah. Why would you want to bring him up to you except to use your other slashing skill that does like no damage?
To knock him back where he was.
Yeah, so he has a yanking skill.
Yeah.
What's the point of that? I like having the
to disorient your enemies. Never let them know your next move.
I really like a single shot rifle and a stun together because that gives you easy headshots. The rest of this just falls apart though.
Yeah, again, a weak hit.
Yeah, it feels like what this one needs is a mobility move. Like to get out of a tight situation, not to bring someone in for a tight situation.
Right. I'm sorry for what I'm about to do to you, which is our next unit.
Oh, fuck. I hate this thing.
The G838 Mahiro.
Oh, this is the crab!
I hate it.
So the Mahiro kind of is, I don't know how to can one of you describe this? Because I don't know how.
This looks like Beetleborg and that robot that helps them in Power Rangers had a fucked up mech child together.
This is someone was mainlining way too much Metroid. Like, this has the roundness, it has kind of the design of the body that Samus does in the suit, and it's got a weird slicey shield. The shield is less weird when you think about the fact all of the mechs that we've seen with shields have had kite shields, or kite shields that have been modified to basically be riot shields. And so this also has a kite shield design, but it's built in, and it's kind of like a weird pincer. And it keeps the pincer motif on both of its arms. So
yeah, I love its mandibles.
Yeah, it's like a crab. It's like Samus made love to a crab.
I don't see it.
Can we acknowledge its giant gold head with no eyes?
I don't want to acknowledge it. I want to
Okay.
acknowledge that Mahiro sounds like a Persona spell.
My hero is...
He's my hero.
So the Rendo grenade is your main weapon. That's your main weapon is shooting
That's your
grenades.
main weapon is grenade.
But look at
you
them.
have to
Do you see
reload it
these
with your little
guys?
pincer.
Do you see these little guys on your pincer?
Oh my
So
god, they're like little horseshoe crabs.
Your G
I'm
maneuver
obsessed with this crab.
is you shoot more of those grenades.
Oh, you double fisted them.
But you actually do like a lot. It's one of the more powerful attacks of the game,
Yeah.
which is very problematic. You have a forward flip kick, which you don't get to see.
Hello?
I didn't hate that.
This is my favorite. The toroidal shield with internal mega particle cannon. Your shield shoots a laser. That's an AoE attack.
And you have to hope that people don't notice and immediately move, because I would notice and immediately move.
You have a sensor dome. You can see through walls. So a G maneuver
That's
for another
dope.
character is an active skill for this character.
This is a great kit. This is one of the better kits I've seen.
Yeah.
You have
It's a solid
you
kit.
have an ambush. You have an ambush tactic. You have a way to get a distance, and you have a bunch of fucking grenades. This is close quarters ambush.
Yeah, this character is highly rated.
It sucks because it's so ugly, and I hate the way it looks, and I want to die every time I look at it.
Yep. Something that won't make you want to die. So we had Zaku 2 ranged. What if I told you we have MS-06 Zaku 2 parentheses melee?
Why is he so fancy? Why does he have a filigree?
Yeah, I don't know what the fucking filigree is about. I don't like the Heat Hawk design here.
There's a lore reason for that. It would make more sense if at any point in this game, it's Vice Admiral Dozel, Zabi's personal
okay.
machine.
I know who that is, I think.
Yeah, you do. He appears. But yeah, they don't call it Dozel Zaku. It's just Zaku 2 melee.
Yeah, here's the thing. They could have had... These didn't need to be separate kits. They could have done more with the Heat Hawk on the regular Zaku and beefed it up and given it more HP, like given it this HP, because the regular Zaku 2 ranged has 800 and this has 1100. They could have just made that a skin.
I also want to say, design-wise, this one has 2 shoulder pauldrons with spikes, as well as spiky fists. It has gold adornments. Otherwise, it's just the same Zaku.
Yeah.
His kit...
Large Heat Hawk.
He just has a giant axe that he can throw by default. His sub-weapon is that he can tackle other units.
This is dope. I never got to play this guy.
He just has the bash that the Dom has as a regular every time thing. His G maneuver is he spin. He spin with this giant axe and just gets in there, and it's beautiful.
Look at him having a fun time.
That is so dope, though.
Oh my god, that is such a good... That's the
so
best
good.
G maneuver we've seen, baby, other than the butterfly guy.
Yep.
That
And
actually
then
looks cool.
He stands in place and is invulnerable, is one of his skills. It's basically to soak enemy attacks. He also just can throw his axe and...
This guy's dope. No, honestly, no notes. I never got to play this one, but I love it.
This one's great because when you're mad...
You have a rage meter!
When your character is mad, it has a separate skill for a rage meter that activates its other
That's
ability.
incredibly funny.
Again, a character-based ability when there's no character.
Yeah.
If this had Dozel's voice with it, it would be perfect because he is such a character that matches this. But instead, you just have a really solid kit with a meh unit and no characterization. But yeah, so that is him, which takes us to next up. The RX-0 Unicorn Gundam.
This fucking thing.
So Unicorn Gundam is a all-white Gundam with the Psycho frame underneath, which basically just glows through the cracks. But it's a little more, rigid and more lines than your regular Gundam. His main weapon is a beam Gatling gun.
Dope.
Which is...
Jesus.
It's dope as hell.
It's dope. Let's see if it'll show you the study. It does. So you can either zoom in or not. His G maneuver is the beam Magnum, which you basically just shoot a big ass laser shot a couple times.
It's so sick. What the hell?
And it has an amazing animation to it. You get 6 shots that you get a kit use. You have a timer to use them in. Active skill 1, Psycho Field Armor. This is not an ability you really have to activate. So you, by default, if you're around the unicorn, you get a health boost, but that just activates it more.
Huh.
You have your own funnel, which is a shield funnel.
It's super sick.
And you also just have more. Oh, yeah, here's the passive skill. If people are near you, they heal.
So this is also one of the most kind of well put together and deliberate kits.
It's a solid, it's amazing kit. I love this kit. Fortunately, you have to unlock this unit.
Yeah, I never got to play this one either. I love the design of this thing too. This is very what I like to see in a mech.
It looks like a gamer mouse.
What if I told you that when he goes psycho, the green turns red because he goes evil?
I'm so glad. The
You're
color
welcome.
symbolism, finally a use for my English degree.
Okay.
What if I told you in Gundam Unicorn, there are 2 Unicorn Gundams, and the other one is all black?
I think we've killed Nico's ability to feel joy.
I've lost the will to live.
Let's go to the next one.
New Gundam.
The RX-93 New and You Gundam. This is, again, just a more spiky Gundam.
It's got hover pinchers?
So those are his funnels. So his funnels are these cool fan funnels that attach to his back.
Oh.
Main weapon is just a beam rifle.
For the 4th time.
G maneuver is the fin funnel barrier. So you shoot out your barrier funnels, people can't attack you, and it shoots the enemy.
Huh.
So it basically gives you protection, and it goes and shoots the enemy. I just love the funnels.
If you want to camp, camp a point, like that's what you. Okay.
Other skill is you can just use your funnels pretty much all the time to go attack people.
Okay, this is a control mage.
This is a control mage. And then the new hyper bazooka, which is just a more damage attack, and you advance.
Does it move you forward?
It moves you forward. It forces you to, well, I guess.
No, I guess it doesn't. I guess they just charge forward for no good goddamn reason.
That is so, what the fuck?
I think it moves you in a direction, whatever direction you're picking.
Oh, it looks like it does give you a little bit of a little
while advancing at high speed. Yeah. Okay.
What are your thoughts on this one, Nico? On this look? How do you feel?
I don't mind it so much. I feel like I like the legs more for whatever reason.
I agree.
Yeah, I just feel like the shape's changed a little bit, and I like the legs more. I feel like there's a lot going on the back, and there's a lot going on in the shoulders, so I feel like there's a little competition there, but otherwise, like,
it's a little busy.
I don't know, this is a solid guy. I could have believed that this was the Gundam if it wasn't the new Gundam.
It is the Gundam in its series. Every series has the Gundam. That's what you need to remember, okay? Okay.
I'm learning.
Next up, speaking of Gundams, we have the Cat 1-X1/3 Hyperion Gundam.
What the fuck is this thing? Why has it got a Halo energy sword?
Oh yeah, so the look, he has his shield is a...
That's a buckler, isn't it?
It's a Triforce!
It's a Triforce triangle shield.
Buckler.
It's a buckler. He has the dumbest machine gun laser with a banana mag, and he has a back kit, which is a flight unit.
Yeah, that looks so ugly.
I kind of like it.
His face...
It's so overbearing.
He's frowning.
Yeah, he's mad.
I like him. He can be mad.
I don't like the Gundams that have the front part. I don't like this part.
God forbid women feel emotions.
No, if they're gonna feel emotions, they should use a psycho frame. That's what I've learned. Alice, is that accurate?
Not wrong. It's not wrong. Gundam has a problem with women. Maybe it's good that this Gundam game didn't have women in it. Or any characters. We couldn't do women wrong.
We didn't need characters, because if we'd put characters in it, women would have been in it, and then...
Hey, look, space map.
Oh, look, the one space map.
The G maneuver is the Amore Lumiere Lancer.
Dope.
Since it's another dash forward damage attack.
This is a better dash forward.
A really long one, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, very long. And then you have the Amore Lumiere, which is just a protection barrier that's one way. Doesn't stop against melee, only stops against range because melee can be on you.
Is this one French? What's wrong with this guy?
The series he's from
Forfontieri.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Go open a patisserie.
You know that's not how
Forfontieri.
Just derisively saying it is
We're reading the names of the abilities for those watching.
Croissant, fuck off. I hate Gundam.
Okay, I think we can all agree that emotions were felt by the Hyperion Gundam. Let's go to the next one, which is one of my favorites. The XXX-G-01H2 Gundam Heavy Arms Custom Endless Waltz variants.
A specter is haunting the OSG podcast, and it's the Gundam Heavy Arms.
So the Gundam Heavy Arms had top surgery. He has machine guns in his chest. He has missiles on his shoulders. He has 2 giant miniguns. He has missiles on his legs. He has missiles on his skirt. He has missiles on his side. He is just guns.
The disproportionate response. This guy is the gun devil from Chainsaw Man. Like, this is not appropriate.
So his main weapon...
And only fires...
His main weapon is the double Gatling gun one-handed. His sub-weapon is you can use both, but you're fixed into place as you use them.
Okay, so you can use both, but you can't just use them all the time, you know, as would make sense.
Well, the animation is also
if your arms
only one if you use it.
Oh my god.
But yeah, you're fixed in a spot. It doesn't do enough damage to lock you in one spot. Your G maneuver is your full barrage, which takes you into third person and you just shoot a bunch of missiles and guns. It's exactly what I
And
wanted
it
out
takes
of
you into
this.
third person behind you, so you can't even see the titties explode. I only know the titties explode because I watched the animation that you can buy where you can see the titties explode.
I thought you were going to say because you saw the gunpla that I sent you photos of this exact unit. Built
The only gunpla
2
I
months
remember
ago.
is the one with a blunt.
Thank you. Do we ever post that to co-host? Cut this part out.
I posted it to Tumblr, but I don't know if it went anywhere else.
He also moonsaults, which is canon that he could do
He
jumping
does
salts.
a little spin.
Look, the guy who pilots this
Yeah.
is in the circus, okay? That's all you need to know.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
it.
why is...
What are your thoughts on the Gundam Heavy Arms Custom?
Sometimes you have amnesia and you join the circus. What's not clicking?
And you wear a mask on half of your face, and you are always frowning.
The
And you're gay.
amount of guns.
The other half is where your emo swish goes.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. We'll have to talk about him more offline because every character in Gundam Wing is the best character. I'm here to say it.
And gay.
This is a lot.
And gay. They're all
This is
gay.
a lot.
Why are there women in that series?
I mean, you'd hope to be gay, but apparently not.
Next, we have the GN-002, the Gundam Dynamos. His main weapon is a better sniper rifle.
Oh, good. So you have the illusion of choice.
Yes. Your second weapon is you have pistols. So you can switch between your pistols and your sniper.
Oh my god, the Laura Croft.
This is so Tomb Raider core.
I just throws them. It's so Tomb Raider.
No, the best part is he holds the guns with one back close to him and one forward because that's what he does in the anime. And his G maneuver is just the Trans Am that the other GN-001 uses. It just increases your damage.
Unbelievable. It's the same one.
Oh my god.
His active skill is just to switch between his weapons and shoot a missile. He also gets the recovery gun. The shoot a heal gun.
This is bad.
They just had to round out the kit with one more thing, and they were like, heal gun.
These kits are like 5 moves, all recycled. I take back what I said.
Yeah.
Oh, this is kind of grim.
What are your thoughts on this one, Nico? To describe the Gundam Dynamis is a thinner unit, kind of like the other one we had, but green and with weird shoulder palisades.
This looks like a memory card. This is a PS2 memory card.
I was going to say DDR3 RAM.
Yeah.
It does look like RAM. I like the shoulder. I like the palisades.
I do,
kinda
especially
neat.
for a sniper. He uses them as a shield when he's shooting.
Yeah.
Bringing us to the other problematic unit that I don't like.
Oh my god.
I hate
Oh,
this
the
unit.
Susan Owu.
The GNX-Y901TW Susanoo.
Is this even a Gundam?
It's in a Gundam series.
It doesn't even look like it's from any of these franchisees' eyes.
It is. So it is a
This looks like, again, it looks like a Persona boss.
This is a bug.
super lanky. It's a samurai. It's just a black samurai. That's it. It has a giant samurai hat. A lot of things poking out of it. Its skills, it has a giant samurai sword. It has 2 that it slashes. Its some weapon is that it, yeah.
What the hell? What the hell?
Yeah. So in its giant horns on its head, they start charging up and it shoots that. That's its sub action. Its G maneuver is, you'll never guess, the Trans Am. You do more damage.
God.
Its active skill is it just shoots forward and smashes. Yeah, that's it.
The wail of pain that it hit me when I saw that it was just the Trans Am again.
Oh yeah, so yeah, that's the Susanoo. How do you feel about him?
This is a bug.
Again, they could have made them look like anything, and they made them look like that.
Yeah.
They made them look like bug.
Speaking of things that they could have made it look like anything and they made it look like that, we have another Gundam that's blue, red, yellow, and white. It's the Zeta Gundam.
At least this one has a snatched little waist. Look at that. And stole the Zaku's mini skirt.
Yeah, it's got a nice little mini skirt. The design is much cleaner than the original Gundam, I think.
I know the deep lore about this Gundam, and I like this. It's shocking that they took so long to put this in the game.
This is the last unit that they added to the game in Season 6.
Oh, Lord.
Which is wild because Zeta Gundam is one of the fans' favorites, and this is I'm gonna say we can say this is one of the best Gundams.
I love this because, Nico pointed out right away, it has the miniskirt, which is like a little detail that tells you that this Gundam was actually designed by Zeon.
Operation Paperclip.
Oh,
this Gundam gets stolen from Titans in like the first episode.
Yeah. So this was taken. This was developed by former Xeon developers.
Yeah, this looks like someone from Xeon was tasked with making a Gundam. It's got different shapes to it. It's still got the little head piece. It's still got its basic, like, the hard angles that the Gundams have. But this looks different. That's interesting. Okay, I'm warmer on this one because of that detail.
Imagine. So the Principality of Xeon sued for peace, and you were one of the people who got like hired off because of commerce, and you come in and they're like, hey, we've got this Gundam thing that defeated all of you, and you see the RX-78 and you're like, this shit rocked us. We could do so much better with this technology that you have. Like, if we had Gundanium, which is the name of the metal used in Gundams, just for everyone's knowledge,
Gundanium.
We could have made something so much better. His kit is pretty basic. He has a beam weapon. His G maneuver is the beam confuse, where you just throw a sword and it explodes. His active skills is a giant laser beam, and he can transform like the other units and fly for a short time. His passive skill is his biosensor.
God.
And yeah, so that's the Gundam, the Zeta Gundam.
Does the Zeta Gundam have a biosensor in canon? Isn't Camille a new type? Why does he need a biosensor?
I think this is in lieu of us having pilots who have new type skills.
Psychic abilities? Yeah, okay.
I think it's built kind of like how the Unicorn Gundam only activates with a new type and its skill only activates with a new type. So I think it's just assumed that whoever is piloting these are a new type.
Sure, yeah.
Is the assumption, I feel like, which is weird to have like a Zaku next to a new type piloted Gundam, and it does the same damage and has the same health.
Yeah.
But that is the 23 Gundams from Gundam Evolution. How are we feeling after all of those?
No one can say we didn't look at all of them.
I know what my rating is.
Okay. Speaking of, we need to rate these goddamn mechs. Okay. So we're going to go around. I'm going to start with me because my name is Alice and A's go first. Overall, I don't know how you can miss with such an extensive franchise. I don't know how you can take so many beloved characters, choose these characters, and then make them all feel so terrible that I was depressed after I got the Heavy Arms custom, and that's what it was. 1 out of 10. This is a piece of shit. It takes so many Gundams that I love, and it fucks them so hard that I just can't. I hate this. I hate this so much. I hate what they did to so many things I loved. I hate that Gundams that I hate are only viable. I hate that I can't play what I want to play, which is I want to play with the toy. I want to play with the toy that I like. I don't want to play with the Barbados. I don't like the Barbados. I hate that its kit is so good. These fucking sucks that they took Gundams that I love and they're pieces of shit. This is a 1 out of 10. Brian, what's your ranking?
I'm a little bit hotter on this than Alice is because I'm not as. If they had made a Eureka 7 MOBA that's ended up sucking, I would have felt this way, I think. But I like it a little bit more because like at least the designs are still the designs, and I like a lot of these designs. Now I have to stay true to my rating canon, and I did give Armored Core a 4 because of the way it absolutely refused to play with scale, which is actually a point of contention. This actually refuses to play with scale in ways that are infuriating, and I have to give this a 3 because I do really love the Zaku. And I love looking at him, and I like when he move around, even when he move around in a way that looks really dumb. When it's like you're not moving around by virtue of your thrusters, you're moving around because your animation rig is being dragged across this low poly fucking landscape.
It's good. It's good. I think that's very fair. Nico, what's your score?
So I'm kind of a dark horse in this. I'm kind of a unknown quantity here because
you found the love of your life.
I found the love of my life, and I don't know jack shit about Gundam. So I had a weird experience with this. This game, basically, I have no emotional attachment. It was basically a car gallery, and I walked in and looked at all the cars, and it was cool for me to see the breadth of design in Gundam, from like the very basic Amuro Ray model to really over-designed stuff, to stuff that looked like a totally different franchise, to bugs, to switchblades. And I thought it was really cool. It's like a museum piece. Like, I feel like that's the energy I brought into this. I knew it was going away.
It's a nice little time capsule. I'll give it that.
Yeah, and it had a lot of different exhibits for me to look at. And I read every little lore paragraph on each of them. And I looked at all the different skins. And I looked at all the different animations and was like, oh, that's neat. I had real grandma energy in this game. I have to give it a 4. And this is a complex ranking for me. It's higher than the others, obviously, because I don't care that much about Gundam. I never got to play a game, so I never got to be disappointed in front of other human people. So that changes it a little bit.
That's
I think
so
feel
valid.
like that leaves me higher. Like I said, I really enjoyed getting to see kind of the different design ideas that have gone into Gundam over the years and into the Principality of Zeon, who continue to just beat ass. I did feel like it felt bad to play, so that tanked it a little bit for me. But unfortunately, there's like 3 pity points just for introducing me to the Ashimar, my beautiful baby boy, who turns into a circle. So, yeah, that's a 4 for me, champ, and a very conflicted 4.
A contentious 4.
Well, that's great. I think we really got down to the bottom of this very complex, lore-heavy game.
Yeah.
But we're going to have to come back after the break and discuss it some more. I'm so sorry, everyone. Let's go to the break.
Hey guys, Alice here. So, On the Shoulders of Giants is a brand new podcast. We're still getting ourselves started. So, if you like what you're hearing and kind of want to hear more of it, maybe leave a 5-star review on your podcasting app of choice, especially if you're on Apple, because that would really help us out. And if you know anybody who might like mechs, point them in our direction. We'd love to hear from them, and, maybe they'll like what we're giving out there. Again, if you like us, leave us a note, send us a message, leave us a review. Just, interact with us. We'd love to hear from you. And with that, let's go back to the episode.
And we're back. And, we talked a lot today about Gundam Evolution, but it's time to actually play a game.
Oh, shit.
Which isn't Gundam Evolution because it's shutting down.
Which will be good because Alice designed it.
This game is affectionately titled, What Fucking Series Is This From? How this is going to work, I am going to tell you the name of one of the Gundams that we just went through, or one of the non-Gundams as they are. I'm then going to list 3 Gundam series. You have to tell me what series it's from. We'll alternate between the 2 of you of who goes first. If that person gets it wrong, the second person has a chance to steal. Does that all make sense?
I'm in.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to do a warm-up round to kind of start this. And we'll start with Brian for the warm-up round.
Okay.
The WMD M01 Turn A Gundam. And I'm going to drop the designator because I did that earlier.
Yeah. Just use their Christian names.
The Turn A Gundam. Is this from Gundam Seed Destiny, Gundam 00, or Turn A Gundam?
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Turn A Gundam.
Brian is right! For 1 point.
I was really hoping that was a trick question. It's gonna be like, no, motherfucker. First appearance was in this one.
The Turn A Gundam is from Turn A Gundam.
That's beautiful.
So the next one, the Mathus. That's the gold boy that we saw earlier.
Mustard champ.
Is it from Zeta Gundam, Gundam Double Zeta, or Char's Counterattack? Nico?
I'm really afraid that there's a Zeta and a Double Zeta. Zeta Reloaded. I'm gonna say Double Zeta because now there's 2. Okay.
Brian, would you like to steal?
I'll steal, but I'm going to be embarrassed if I get it wrong, because if it is, I don't remember it in Zeta so far, but I'm only like halfway through. Yeah, I'll say Zeta. Zeta suit. Single Zeta.
You are correct. It is from Zeta Gundam. It appears near the end.
Dang it. You mean it wasn't twice in Double Zeta?
It actually is in Double Zeta. So I'm going to go with original appearance for these.
That makes sense.
Because you'll never guess this, but Double Zeta is the sequel to Zeta Gundam.
That's wild.
And it's just a continuation. So Brian, while you're halfway through Zeta Gundam, there's an entire other series of the exact same length that continues the story.
I know.
All right, next one. The Ashimar. Is that from Zeta Gundam, Gundam Double Zeta, or Gundam Narrative? Brian?
That's from Zeta.
Ding, ding, ding. It is from Zeta Gundam.
That's my boy. It's my son and child.
I'm gonna post an image of its pilot in the chat.
Please
real
do.
quick.
Okay, I need to see this.
It's
this man,
very important.
because this is the man I'm going to kill to take it. So I need to know who I am targeting.
Yeah, he'll probably just give it to you, honestly.
This is Agent 47 time. I'm killing him.
There we go.
Oh my god. Hello? This looks like Char's stepdad.
It is a blonde psychopath.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looks like someone that Char is emulating, and then he was like, no, I'm not. I swear I'm not. We're different. This is awful.
I love him.
Okay, I'm gonna kill him and take it. Okay.
Okay. Next one. Gundam Barbados. Is that from After War Gundam X, Gundam IBO, or Gundam AGE? Nico?
Gundam AGE. Yeah.
Brian?
What were the other two options?
The other two are IBO and After War Gundam X.
I'm gonna say After War Gundam X. I've never even heard of any of these.
It is from IBO, or Iron Blooded Orphans.
Oh.
Shit, I may have known that. Damn it. I started that show and I couldn't get into it. Should I try again?
I have complicated feelings on Iron Blooded Orphans, but I think it gets there eventually. I enjoyed my time with it.
Okay.
I just...
A Gundam show with some startup.
It's literally called Iron Blooded Orphans. Let me just... They're slaves. They're literally slaves. That's it.
Oh
okay.
my god.
Okay. The next one. The GM Sniper 2. Is it from Gundam 0079, Gundam 0080, or Gundam 0083? And again, this is first appearance. Brian?
79.
And Nico?
83. What? Is it 0080?
Yeah, we talked about him. It's one
It
of the
is a
Gundam that
0080.
just annihilates.
That is his first and only appearance in the series.
Well, good, because he sucks. And also, I didn't remember him because the camper is right there.
I cannot believe... Do you want to talk about possibility space? I cannot believe you can't play as a camper and you can't have that strip belt of fucking detonator mines.
Yeah.
Come on.
As a G maneuver?
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yes. No, instead you get a guy who appears very briefly in one episode and is destroyed.
Yeah. Wow. That's the one Gundam I've seen and I did not remember this man.
The weird part is there are other GM snipers that appear in the series that get much more screen time. Specifically in 08th MS Team, there's a lore-specific one they could have used, but no, it's specifically that one that they used in this game. Next round, the Gundam Exia, the GN001. Is that from Gundam Seed, Gundam Age, or Gundam 00? Nico?
Gundam Seed? Yeah.
Brian, you have a chance to steal. The other two are going to be Age, AGE, and 00.
I'm going to say AGE. Damn, this game's hard.
It is from Gundam 00.
It is hard.
The one to remember with that one is the designation for those units is always GN-00 and then a number.
Oh, hacks.
It's obviously. You guys not memorize these designators?
No, bro.
Alice, I love you so much. You're my dear friend.
Oh my god! It's a bonus round!
Oh, yeah.
What? So this next one, we're going to talk about the Hyperion Gundam. I'm going to post a picture.
Oh, the French motherfucker.
The French motherfucker with the
one.
Triforce shield.
The angry one.
So,
the one that y'all were haters and I defended.
Right. I am a hater.
So, this Gundam exists in an anime, but it first appeared in a manga. I am going to list not one, not two, not three, but 5 mangas based in this universe. And you're going to tell me which one this appears in.
Oh, God.
Because it does not appear in all of them, and it only appears in one of them first. So, number 1, Gundam Seed Astray. Number 2, Gundam Seed Astray R. Number 3, Gundam Seed Astray B. Number 4, Gundam Seed X Astray. And number 5, Gundam Seed CE73 Delta Astray. Brian, which manga does the Hyperion Gundam first appear in?
We have to destroy Gundam.
Is this why Seed is such a polarizing entry in the franchise?
Seed
Is it this kind
Seed
of
is
shit?
so convoluted. It's so terrible.
Okay. I'm going to say B because that's one of the only letters I can remember right now.
It is not from Gundam Astray B. Nico, you have a chance to steal.
Oh my god, and what kind of chance is it? What kind of world have you created?
Let me read the remaining options. I'm going to take off the Gundam Seed. These all start with Gundam Seed. Astray, Astray R, X Astray, and CE73 Delta Astray.
I want it to be CE73 Delta Astray because that's so much to say.
It's a mouthfeel.
That's my answer.
It's wrong. And because we have 5 options, we're going to go back. Brian, you have the chance to steal. The remaining options are Astray, Astray R, and X Astray.
X Astray.
Also wrong. Nico, you have a chance to steal. It's Astray and Astray R are your remaining options.
Fuck. Oh, this could be everything. I could get a single point. Astray?
It is from Gundam Astray, Seed Astray.
Yeah!
The
1
original.
point.
It has been upgraded in later episodes. It is also in Gundam Seed. Nico's dabbing for those at home. It's terrible.
I got 1 point.
As I was researching this, I did not realize how many spin-off mangas there were in the Seed universe. I'm going to just say it right now. I hate the Seed universe as Gundam goes. So that's your thought. Next one. The Susanoo. That's that.
Oh, the Uwu.
The Uwu boy. Is this from Turn A Gundam, Gundam Age, or Gundam 00? Nico?
I wanted to be from Turn A Gundam because I feel like they just made bad choices.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
Brian, you have a chance to steal. It's either from Gundam Age or Gundam 00.
Nico's answer was what I was going to say and why I was going to say it. So I'm kind of at a loss here. I'm going to say 00.
That is correct.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit.
It is one of the big villains in 00 near the end. Good job.
Oh, we should have known because it's got 2 O's. Suzanne Owo.
Oh my god, I'm gonna run
Susanna
away.
Uwu.
Oh, what's this? A bug?
I'm gonna make you, it's just gonna be the picture of that mech with like ooh text over it. I'm gonna force you to post that on your Tumblr.
You need to make a trauma core edit of the Suzanne Owo after
Jesus.
it hears this episode.
Next one. The Mahiru.
Oh, my hero.
Mahiru.
My Hero
Is that
Academia.
from Turn A Gundam, Gundam Age, or Gundam IBO? Brian?
What was the first one?
I can run through them
Was Turn A an option?
Turn A Gundam?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Turn A.
You're correct. That is the
Cool.
one of the villains in
I
it.
know that Turn A is the one I don't want to watch now, knowing that both of the worst ones are from that one.
It's so good. They have blimps in a Gundam series. There are dirigibles.
We gotta show up for the blimps, Brian.
Gundam turn dirigible.
Gundam turned dirigible. Next is the new Gundam. Is this from Gundam F91, Gundam Char's Counterattack, or Gundam Thunderbolt December Sky? Nika?
Which one was this again? The new Gundam?
New Gundam.
I'm gonna say, what was the first option again?
F91, Char's Counterattack, and Thunderbolt December Sky.
I'm gonna say Thunderbolt December Sky.
Brian, you have a chance to steal.
okay,
Is it either from F91 or Char's Counterattack?
I have a logic here, and I'm hoping that it doesn't make me look dumb, but I'm going to say Char's Counterattack.
What's your logic?
My logic is that I don't think you really see funnels before Char's Counterattack, and that one has funnels, and it's called the New Gundam. I don't know.
Brian is correct. It is from Char's Counterattack.
Wow, very nicely done, Bri.
Yay!
And then our last question. The Pale Rider, the standing man emoji of Gundam Evolution.
Oh yeah, this motherfucker.
Is this from? So here's a fun fact. So this one is not from any of the main series. This isn't even from an anime. There is no anime that represents this. Is this from Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story, The Blue Destiny, Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story, Missing Link, or Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story, Space to the End of a Flash? Let me read that without the first parts. Blue Destiny, Missing Link, or Space to the End of a Flash? Nico?
I think it's gotta be Blue Destiny, because this is about the thin blue line, because this is a cop.
Brian, is the Pale Rider from Missing Link or Space to the End of a Flash?
This is from Pat Lieber 3. No, I'm going to say Space to the End of a Flash because I wanted to say that.
It's from Missing Link.
Yeah, the Missing Link is why we should give a shit.
But we also have a chance for a bonus point.
Oh, yay.
Oh, my goodness.
So the bonus point here is, which of those three is not a manga?
Oh.
Either can answer. So Blue Destiny.
Space to the End of a Flash.
Brian, your answer?
I'll
tell you right now that Nico's wrong.
Well, okay.
That's a manga.
I was trying to think of what was the
Blue Destiny and Missing Link.
I was going to say Missing Link.
You're correct. Missing Link is a PlayStation 3 game that featured the Pale Rider that they then took and put into Gundam Evolution.
That makes so much sense.
And that is our game, with Brian heartily winning. We won't even calculate points.
I don't even think I've won a game before on this podcast, so I'll take this happily. I got 1 point.
I'm loving it.
This is your one.
Yes, Brian deserved it. Brian has done his time in the Gundam mines.
It's so good. It's so good. Oh my god, Salem Ass just opened up a communique. We've got a flash transmission. It looks like we've got a letter from a pilot in trouble. Nico, can you read this one for us? I'm so out of breath from
the flash communication.
The flash communication.
You have to say it fast because it's a flash communication.
It's a flash communication.
You don't want to have any delays, which is why we're talking. So this message goes, "Hi OSG crew. I'm a pilot, and me and a bunch of my other pilot friends just got word we're being laid off from a big gig. Given we're all in one place for once, all have mechs on us, parentheses, the only severance we're getting, and we're all feeling pretty disillusioned. We were thinking of having one last hurrah, a big battle where we throw everything we've got at each other and really cause some mayhem. The only problem is, most of us are out-of-towners and don't know where we should do this for maximum drama. Given we can clear out all civilians and make the company that fired us pay for the repairs, where would you want to see a huge, say, 4 to 6 mech per team, 2-team mech slugfest? Thanks, Unemployed in Taito."
Wow, thank you so much for writing in, Unemployed. Sorry to hear about that. I am glad that you're taking your mechs with you. That's the least they can do to you. I'm sure there's a lot of places that you can take your skills as pilots. Brian, do you have any advice? Do you have any thoughts on where they could have this fight?
I'm trying to think of the worst city.
I was going to say just Tokyo.
Oh my god, Phoenix!
Yeah, Phoenix, Arizona.
Let's go. Take it out. Take it out. It's time.
Do you have a better choice than Phoenix, Arizona, Nico?
Well, I mean, I feel like we got to mention space. Space was one we were really missing in the game.
Ooh,
so
I don't know about space.
Launch Phoenix, Arizona into space and then fight on it.
Yeah, do a Sokovia situation, but it's Phoenix, Arizona. Hey, I just want to say, I hated Avengers Age of Ultron, and yet Sokovia is just burned into my brain.
Look,
anyway.
You've got Sokovia, Alice has 9/11. I have the fact that same fucking move was used 8 times in that fucking game that we just played.
Speaking of 9/11, I think New York would also be, really any metro. I just feel like mechs in tight quarters with buildings is just such a beautiful thing. Honestly, probably judging based on your writing, I think Silicon Valley would be good because it's probably where you were working before this. And why not destroy the headquarters of the people who fired you in a friendly fire incident, you know?
That's real. What I was actually going to say instead of space, I just wanted to give space an honorable mention. County fair. Like, get all the people out of there, all the animals. Well, the animals can stay until you, like, destroy the side of a pen and they all run off comically. But just, if Girls in Panzer taught us anything, it's that having a big fucking Ferris wheel is so funny. Especially when you can take it off the moorings and it kind of rolls around. And I think it'd be really cool to see a Gundam fight where the only other things of a scale with them are like roller coasters and that crazy drop thing. And that, like, I just think that's fun. I think a mech should take the crazy drop thing and break it off its foundation and hit another mech with it. So I'm going to say State Fair. Also, can you imagine if someone stepped on the largest pumpkin growing competition just all over the Gundam's feet?
My blue ribbon pie! Ah!
It's so good. Okay, that's mine. That's my dream.
All right, well, Taito, I hope that helps you, and that you can find some gainful employment. I'm sure there's some piracy group that could really use your mech and your skills. Guys, that's gonna be our episode. What do you have any final thoughts on Gundam Evolution in its last moments as we send it across the river Styx to the forever beyond? Pray for its safe journey into the realm of games that have ended their service cycle and are no longer playable despite human money being put into it. Any final thoughts?
Bandai Namco, I hope you learned from this, and please give us a fun Gundam game. Also, we should play more weird, terrible Gundam games on this podcast, in my opinion, humbly.
We should. Nico, do you have any thoughts?
It's in a better place now. We sent it to play with the other failed hero shooters in a farm upstate.
Hey, it made great radio.
It made great radio, and it's gonna have a great time forever.
My final thoughts are I'm glad it's dead. And that's this episode of On the Shoulders of Giants, where we discussed Gundam Evolution. Thanks for listening, pilots. Remember, you can reach out for advice from the team at our email, questions@osgpod.com, and non-pilots can send general questions or feedback to that same address. You can also catch up with us on social media. There are links in the description for updates and more. Make sure to check back in a couple of weeks' time when we'll be discussing Extreme Meat Punks Forever. Until then, goodbye. I love you.
Goodbye, I love you.
Goodbye, I love you, Ashamar.